Hello guys, welcome to my videos. Basically this is basically my first video on the channel, and I'm talking about dragon rulers. I have been, scavenging the internet for different views of that, and basically I is the like a video compiling all of them into videos. I've tested with some of these with my friends, and yeah, I will share to you guys about my knowledge and what I have experienced with the decks. So yeah, let's go into the pure version. This is my, you can say, my favorite version of the deck, because it is basically like grand rulers is just rulers and the strength of rulers. I really like them, but it's not the optimal version of that. I'm even playing the Drago Calamity to like put on extra disruption with the new Disaster Dragon. But there are some advantages and some disadvantages of the deck. First of all, the deck can play a huge number of non-engines. You can play Bestials, you can do hand traps, you can play ball breakers, you can play like the sacred sword of the 7 stars in order to draw 2 to get into your engine cards, and you can play the ravine packages, and you can play up to 3 rulers per name. And I really like the fact that I can play 3 rulers, because sometimes I do combo. There are a shortage of a ruler, because I need 3 of each in order to combo. So it's just my experience with that. And the deck can play like a very good. It has the ability to play through to board. It can push with its own engines, because we play like extra card like Dragon Calamity, the Dragon Ravine, to get to access more into the rulers and the triple tactic talents. Basically, you see that the deck can play through board. It can push through board, but the downside of it is that it kind of relies on the floodgate. I play the Amorphage Goliath. Yes, it can be searched. I have tested with the Foster Dino, and it's not very good. So it kind of heavily relies on floodgates. So if your opponent have like an imperm or a droplets, and basically you're dead. Your deck is dead. About the second downside of that is that the deck do not really utilize the normal summon like other versions. Like I've tested with Foster Dino, and it's kind of like a brick, so I just cut it out like to display Amorphage. And the concept you can play Lava Golem or like a Sphere mode. So it's just the base version of the decks that we are going to see today. And basically I really like the deck, but the deck can be improved. The downside of Dragon Rulers basically like you kind of minus if your opponent haven't had a hand traps, or if they know when to hand traps your hand. Like for example, like if you use the effect of Spectre and they use the Nation, yeah, it's kind of like a -1. Only when if you like you discard a ruler and you have another ruler on your hand. Basically, it's kind of a minus deck. So we have to play it with a engine that kind of like give us an advantage in card advantages. So the other version, I kind of fixed it with like playing the 10-5 dragon. Basically, I can activate Sanian Kaiman, adding Genroku special summon, show itself to special summon like a Pyra or a Fadra. Basically, Fadra can So basically, the deck can have some very good combo, like basically like a level 7 turbo. The deck can play a good amount of non-engine like 3 full loss, 3 ash, 2 3 Veiler, 2 talents, 1 Kobai, and 2 imperm. I mean, I put an imperm in this deck. But the downside of this deck is that the 10 Pydragon is not utilized as a OTK deck. It's only utilized as a engine sort of deck. So if you want to use a simple engines that can utilize these level 7s, you can play a Black Rose Dragon in your extra deck to have some spices. Yeah, you just go for it. But the Dragon Rulers does not help the 10 Pydragon in helping them OTK. Like, it's very hard. Just play pure 10 Pydragon or like put in a better engines like the Finsmith Cashier. And that's my thought on the deck. I mean, the side deck of the deck's kind of like the options that you can choose. Next, I'm going to talk about the Dragon Ruler Cashier. This version of the deck is kind of like my first thought of the new support. Like, you can play like the new Cashier, like if you can play like a Tearman or a Rise Heart in order to have the attribute. But after Spectre come out, it's just like, yeah, you don't really need it. So yes, the Cashier kind of like give the deck a more versatile style of the deck. And I mean, I kind of like it, to be honest. The deck is still have the downside of not utilizing the normal summon. You can, but the pluses of this version is that you can play a package of adventurer package, because you can use 2 level 7 to make regular sacks and use the 2 token to make Cherubini. You can send the water enchantress, and basically you have the access to the adventure token. And that is what I like about this version of that. And if I would play this version as a 60 card deck. I mean, yes, you can put a lot of non-gens and a adventurer package into this deck. And the next version is the Fiendsmith version. It's like a version that I created, and I do like this version, to be honest. First of all, is a deck kind of die to draw, because you have to search of 2 times, like the Fiendsmith, the Engraver, and the Spectre. So if you got draw, basically one of these 2 going to be that in your hand. The second and the Tractus 2, the track 2. But the deck is kind of like synergized kind of well, and I like the synergize because you have Luri and the Necrocrypt Princess. Basically, you can discard the Spectre with the Luri, and you can add 2 rulers. Even if you got Ash, you can specimen back to Luri because it is a mandatory effect. And the Necrocrypt Princess, I really like the interaction of it with the rulers, because if you activate the rulers, you can draw 1 due to the effect of Necrocrypt Princess. So yes, I really like that. And if you have been seeing combos of the decks kind of die to nib. So the version with the Fiendsmith, the Cashier, if you play an Adventurer token, kind of helps you playing around it if you make DDD Hurricane Season. That's my thought. You can cut out the Acme day to put into put a card you like into the extra day. It is not a mandatory if you, or you can play like a second sequence. In general, I kind of like the idea of this deck as you play um, the free Lacrima, free Engraver, 2 track, and one Lurie basically helps you one card combo into the Fiendsmith engine. You can play DDD Habagisa, prevent you from getting nib. I mean, if you, they got Imperm or Baylor, then yes, that is a very unlucky situation. And other than that, the deck kind of good. The really downside of that is that you play a small amount count of dragons, and they actually like basically, yeah, like you're playing like eight of the big rulers, 4 of the small rulers, and hand traps. Those are the cards that you can banish to specimen the rulers. So I that is the only downside of the deck. And the the Fiendsmith package kind of like makes it's very hard to utilize your extra deck. Like the rank 7 cards are basically like the cards that you use to clear out boards or kind of like take care of situations, but basically you only play like 2 white, 2 black, and a disaster. So you cannot utilize your extract as a way to break boards. And my favorite version of the rulers is the red eye ruler and prime eye. At first, I wanted to play 3 of rulers, so I was thinking, yes, what engines fits well with the rulers? I thought of it and I was like, red eyes is a very nice engine because you can play like a black darkness metal to bring back the level 7 dragons, and you can use black metal to basically make a seal and a negate with the full metal dragon. And I was like, oh, so any are there any other red eyes is good in the deck? I was like, oh, this is basically a level 7 card on a field. And I was like, oh, I am playing the red eye package. So I was thinking about the primate card. And the primate card is a very, very perfect substitute for the Foster Diner or the other normal summon, because the barrel basically gave you an access to a negate and basically kind of have a recursion of a kind to recycle some of your wasted resources in your graveyard. And the deck can play a high number of like going second card, like 3 Ash, 3 Roll, 2 Valor, 2 Talents, 3 Thrust, 3 Imperm, 2 Bestials, and Raskin kind of like helps you break boards. So yes, I count it too. The version kind of like give you the ability to have access to rain for you to banish the specimen the rain rulers, and I kind of like it, to be honest. If I put into another card into the side deck, I would put into 3 lava golem, because if I get into game 2 and I go second, I would put out the red kind of like the red eye engines. I only play like 1 black meteor, 1 red eye black dragons, and I would side out another 1 barrel to put in like a lava golem, because the dragon ruler is very nice for dragon lava golem. That is, I mean, the best advantages of the dragons. So basically, these are the decks that I kind of tested with and find it is very good. And yes, and there are some side options, like I like to side lava golem and ran by basically like a floodgate for the deck. So even if you do not play armor mage, alpha mage, you can basically floodgate your opponent out of the game. And there are some options that you can play, like the rose dragons. You, in order to make the, the synchro 10, and yes, is very nice. You can play it, and basically a roster dragon is basically a seal, so you only take out, you only need 3 slots for 3 synchro dragon and 3 retro dragon, 1 rockstar dragon, 1 basic rose suit. Or you can basically like, you can play a ratio so that both of them, uh, all of the rose dragon equal 4. Like you can play 2 rock rose and 2 red rose. You play 3 rock rose and 1 red rose. But I really like it, but I mean, it's like a old style of deck. And in my opinion, the best version of the deck is the Dragon Maid. Like basically, you can make the shield on summon number 5. Basically, you are not scared of Nib, unless they have like another impermanent, like something like that. It kind of really have some synergy with that, because they play the main 3 dragon mate they play is the parlor, the kitchen, and the chamber. So it kind of have some very good synergy with the red rulers, and basically gave you the fact that the gold sarcophagus is a 1 card combo in this deck. The deck can play fusions, the dragon fusion in general, like the the Boro dragon that is a fusion, or the new level 8 dragon that destroy card on summon. Basically, they have access to very good dragons, and the new fusion dragon is cracked. To be honest, is a very good card. Another engine that I have thought of about is the arm dragon. I've not tested with these, and I have not doing some deep research with the engines. Um, the only thing I know about this engine is that it kind of helps you with not going minus in rend rulers. Basically, if you use the rend rulers, you discarding the arm dragon. Like this one, you can add a level 5 or higher wind dragon. Basically, they helps you not getting minus if you got ash or other kind of hand traps. I have not do any research on these cards. I have I have seen them in play, and I mean, I think they are good in managing card advantages, but the Dragon Maid is much more better. The next engine I think is very good is the Adventure token. You can make Dragon Sack, make 2 token, and then make Cherubini, and basically sending water enchanters. You basically have a negate, so you are not very in a position that you got nib. I think the the um, the Adventure token package is very nice with the Kashira. I would make a deckless 60 card with Kashira Adventurer. And the new Primac card is very nice. I would put this card in the side deck because the prime another barrel can touch it. And about I watched Yasin. So if you have watched Yasin, you can see that he basically make a full-on dragon ruler deck with the safer, the Noctovision, and the Bestow packages. So why? Because first of all, safer and Nocto Vision is correct. So if we can basically send a random ruler and add Nocto Vision, it can make a link 1 into Striker Dragon, and Nocto Vision can specimen itself. And both of them get into a link 2, and Nocto Vision basically draw 1. So just from 2 cards, you get a draw 1 and a link 2. And the reason why he played with the Bistio package, I believe, is because the safer is the best with the Lubalian, and so he played with the Bistio package. But I do not really like the deck because it's kind of like a full-on going first deck. It's not a deck that is like I can go both second and go first. You won't. When you go in seconds, you only have the Bistios and the talents as a way to break your opponent board, and with your rulers, I doubt that they are not very good at clearing your opponent boards. And even if you got into a huge board, you still have to take care of a nib, because the Dragon version of it cannot play through nib. So I have said it about my experience with the deck, my builds, and my thought on the decks, and yeah. This is the deck list that I will still keep on playing. I will make a Kashira, Adventurer, and Ruler deck. So if you guys want to see it in the future, just comment and ask me. I will make a video about it. So if you guys have any question, or if you guys like the video, please give me a like and subscribe. Yeah, that would give me a lot of motivation to make more videos about this. Thank you for watching, mate.